Hey everybody, it's Dr. Kelly. What is the 3 worst words you can use in any learning environment? In this episode, we're going to get into the down and dirty of what those 3 words are, why we want to avoid it, and what you're going to do to actually foster a learning environment where people are leaning forward into your information because you're going to be using information they already know. Let's get into it right now. All right, so big question. What are the 3 worst words? 3 worst words in any learning environment are, hey, I need you to memorize this. Memorize. Hey, I need you to study this. Hey, reread this so you have it fresh in your mind. Let me tell you about all the studies on memorization, study, or reread. Absolutely close to no benefit in any long-term learning environment. Yes, if I reread something and you ask me a question within the first few minutes of me rereading it, I can recite it, but I can tell you this. Most people have no idea how to memorize. They have absolutely zero idea what study means, and reread means literally holding up something and rereading it, putting it down, and forgetting it because you never allowed or fostered the environment which brings forward their past knowledge. If you really want people to understand your information, to engage with you, to make change within the individual, and remember, when we're talking about learning, people always like to make it a classroom setting. Those are gone. Those days are gone the way of the dodo, man. The new learning environment is anywhere, anytime, anyhow, in using any method possible. So that could be you sitting on the couch with your kids, or having a discussion over dinner with your spouse, or doing a team meeting where we're talking about implementing a new process when managing new customer inflow. It doesn't matter. This isn't just about CCE credits and Math 10 classes. This is the new world of change, is how to learn most effectively and integrate that learning into your life. Now, this is where you should be leaning forward in your seat, because how many use cases does this have for you where you can say, oh my gosh, we need to teach, we need to learn, we need to educate. That's our new word. I'm going to describe that later. But we need to educate our patients, our customers, our staff on what is great about our business, what is amazing about how we operate. And then we can take them through the steps of that process. So let's get into it. How do we do that? How do we take new information and get people to assimilate it so that that information becomes theirs? We do it by attaching that information to information they already know. So one of the ways that you do this is you have to know your audience. Know your audience. And this goes like, think of Marketing 101. In Marketing 101, the very first thing you need to do is create your, we call it now an avatar, but it was your customer profile. Who's your customer? In the case of creating change or fostering change through education, your customer is whoever the heck you're talking to. So if you're talking to your kids, your spouse, your staff, your customers, that's the education process. And in that, we need to ask questions. You need to be asking questions, and you need to come in with knowledge about what they already know. That is how we can now attach this information, this new information, to information that they already have. And that's when we start to make change. An excellent example, when I'm talking to my own kids about managing their own states, about coming into an exam, about coming into a difficult conversation in the right state, one of the first things I do is I've attached a stop sign to their emotional state, because attaching a stop sign means, whoa, I already know what a stop sign is. I can see it crystal clear in my mind. I know what happens when you hit a stop sign. You stop. So you need to stop before you engage in that conversation, before you engage in that new setting, and empty or release whatever you're bringing into it. And so just think of the multiple applications that we have when we're dealing with this. Remember, in the earlier episode, we were talking about how we get people to engage. We have to relate to them on their level. Well, do you know what? One of the easiest ways is to take common knowledge that you know people already have. Now, granted, you have to make some assumptions here, but that's where asking questions takes you to the next level. You make some assumptions, you understand who your audience is, and then you attach your new information to information they already have. This accelerates the process greatly. Now, if you really want to 10x your game, really totally 10x your game, you ask questions before you provide answers. I'll let you think about that. We need a whole nother cast about what that means. But by asking questions before you provide answers, you are actually engaging people. It's like a data dump. If you were to say, hey, what do you know about X? What do you know about, water bottles? What do you know about new, noise cancellation headphones? What do you know about that? And they get to data dump everything that they think they know. And it's the start process of where your brain will actually start to try to look and link new information to old information. And that is where change happens. When you tell someone to memorize, if you don't have them in the right state, or study, which means absolutely nothing to almost everyone, or reread, all you've really done is reinforce a negative pattern. And we're going to get into why learners don't learn in the next episode. But in this episode, start attaching your information to information people already have. That's how we create massive change. That's how you assimilate your information into information that's already owned by your customer, your student, your client, your kids. And that's how they can use your new information to really make massive changes in your life. All right, everybody, I'm Dr. Kelly. Remember, go out there, make a difference, attach your information they already have, and you're going to see massive changes in your customers.